Hello, my friends. I want to make a comment on Roy Moore, a Senate candidate, Republican Senate candidate, who's been accused of raping girls, molesting them, harassing them sexually. Was even kicked out of a mall in in his state because the whole town knew that this guy went after 14, 15-year-old little girls, and there are a lot of accusers that have come forward uh, with their stories, and they're very credible stories with anecdotal evidence and corroborating testimony from uh, from some of their friends, colleagues. So I personally think that it's disgusting that we have a guy who was kicked out of the Alabama Supreme Court uh, because of his blatant and wanton homophobic attitude and actions, and his hatred towards gay people, um, and refused to do his constitutional duties, his job, the one that the people were paying him to do. So now he's coming out. I mean, this is nothing new. This um, the Republican Party of today is is full of homophobic, openly racist, um, openly bigoted, um, proudly ignorant, misogynist, you know, pro-war, um, Islamophobic, anti-freedom of religion. They say it that they're pro-freedom of religion, but they're not. They're just basically the version of ISIS in the United States, the American Taliban, the Republican, the right wing of the Republican Party, which is basically the one that's ruling the Republican Party, and it's ruling the country right now in the form of a Nazi, um, racist, openly racist, um, homophobic demagogue called Donald Trump. And so Roy Moore just the other day just came out and said it openly that you know that it was that America was great during slavery. He didn't say it in those words, but uh, he said that the families were united, and yes, we had that little thing called slavery, but that's no big deal. But just to remind you, during slavery, um, uh, African the African women who were enslaved by the white owners, by the European Christians, because that's exactly what they were, and that's exactly what these people are. They have not changed. 83% of evangelical Christians voted for Donald Trump. And they just proved to us again the shameless hypocrites that they are, and the vast majority of them supporting a guy like Donald Trump, who was accused of raping a 13-year-old girl and openly bragged about sexually assaulting women. Uh, it's on tape. Now he says it doesn't exist. The same thing with Roy Moore. He denies it. Here are though the evidence. He says I don't know this woman, and all of a sudden, oh, I signed their yearbook, and then here comes the Fox News and the rest of the demagogue infested right wing media uh, say raising false testimony, which by the way is one of the commandments that they profess to follow. Um, Erasing false testimony and saying that this girl admitted to forging the Roy Moore's signature, and they retracted the story, or they erased it from because it's not true, it's a lie, uh, used to further their extreme right wing um, you know agenda, religious and political and racist Nazi agenda. But here comes Donald Trump, repeating, just came to Florida, and up there in the Panhandle says that, starts telling people that, it starts bashing the one of the main witnesses and accusers of Roy Moore, saying that, making fun of her and, just attacking her, accusing her of being a liar, which, he's using false information from Fox News to further his agenda, and he has thrown his full support behind a pedophile and a man, an accused pedophile, not just once, many, 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 many times. Many women have come forward and accused this man of either sexually assaulting them or flat out having sex with them, raping them, or whatever. Donald Trump very openly says, that they're all liars, and we need a Republican in there. We don't need a Democrat in there. Basically, it doesn't matter what any of these alleged rapists and pedophiles do, as long as you're a Republican, you should be allowed to serve in the United States Senate or Congress, or be a politician and be a leader and make the decisions for this nation. And you hear all this women on the right wing, most of them Christians, white Christian evangelical people, throwing their full support behind a pedophile, an accused pedophile. So this is the current state of the Republican Party in the United States, and you don't hear any clamor for or any outrage from the Republican Party demanding that any of these accused child molesters and rapists step down or step away from the candidacies or their positions that they're already in. They go to their churches on Sundays and praise their imaginary friend up in the sky or wherever that imaginary character is. So, welcome to the Fourth Reich. This is what the United States of America has become, the Fourth Reich, and it has been by design. Roy Moore is just a symptom of the moral decomposition of this country, designed by the religious right wing and their pawns up in the political positions, and then just to to give you an example, they just did a town hall where there comes this white guy saying this, like, 40 years ago it was okay to marry a 13-year-old girl, meaning 40 years ago in Alabama it was okay to rape a child. It was socially accepted. I beg to differ. That has never been the case in rural communities or in southern states or all this. That's a lie. That is an absolute lie. That it's okay to have sex with a 12 or a 13-year-old little girl. If any community was okay with that 40 years ago, they should be ashamed of that. And to say that because it was okay back then, meaning socially acceptable in the child raping communities, that this person is the man who was talking about on TV, saying that this was okay back then, that then we should ignore the claims of women who were children. These were children who were raped and molested and sexually harassed by Roy Moore. Nothing is more disgusting than such a vile, filthy, nasty rhetoric. And this is the same people these are the people you're sitting next to in church. These are the people. This country needs a reckoning. It needs to look inside. Those of you who are Christian and evangelicals, if you do not want to be remembered by history as, worthless, shameless hypocrites and the supporters of child molestation and Nazi ideologies, you need to act quickly and denounce, not just leave, denounce publicly. All of you need to get together and denounce publicly and this atrocity that's being perpetuated. If you do not want to be remembered as human trash, filth, just like the Nazis, you need to speak out, because that's exactly what you're going to be remembered like. That is what you will be remembered as. So take notice. Take notice. This is a pivotal moment for the history of this people in this country. And I'm talking about you, the Christians. Think about it. You guys have a horrendous criminal record as a religion. And it's time to start cleaning it up.